Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a final diagnosis on the Todd Begg Steelcraft series full-size Bodega. So this knife is really exciting to me for two reasons. Number one, this is a Bodega available for the masses. You know, as a YouTube knife guy, of course I've seen Jim Skelton's videos and how he raves about his Bodegas. And they're great looking knives, and I've always been interested in the Begg knives, but I've been unable to get them because the customs are multiple thousands of dollars. They had the field grade Bodegas, but those were also a bit expensive. You know, they were over $1,000, and they were still really, really nice and really great looking and very user friendly. But now these are a full production line being produced by Riot Knives out of China. They make a very high quality product. One of my favorite companies right now in terms of what they're doing, both manufacturing wise and design wise. I've really enjoyed a whole lot of their knives. I've had the Torrent and the Epoch. I said the Apoch in that video. The Epoch on my channel recently. Super great knives coming out of there, and this is no exception. The second reason is that this one has been customized by my good buddy Andrew over at Fanatic Edge. He does an awesome job with his anodizations. He took this from the full bronze model to this awesome green and bronze sort of pattern here. It just looks really, really cool. It's a very deep and interesting anodization, and I absolutely love it. You know, he's worked on a few of my knives, and I'll talk about another knife he's going to work on here in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and break this knife down anatomically. Up front, we have a 4-inch blade of CPM S35VN. This has a 3.75-inch cutting edge here, and that's because there's one of my favorite things on a blade, and that is a full-size forward finger choil. This blade is long enough to accommodate a full-size choil where you can put your finger without sacrificing a whole lot of blade length. It's got a nice functional blade shape, a nice area of flat, and a nice long belly for all kinds of cutting tasks. It's a nice drop point shape with that harpoon swedge, so it's very practical but also beautiful. It's got a great set of jimping up here. It is pretty aggressive, but I like that. It's not uncomfortable to use. You get very positive traction, and with that harpoon where it is, it really kind of encourages you to choke up like that, and that's just really nice. Very, very ergonomic. Of course, we've got the characteristic Begg fuller going on with the perforations there, the holes, and that's okay. It's a very beautiful design piece, but I think that in some cutting tasks it might be a little bit annoying because it'll get full of some, you know, organic stuff, whatever you're cutting into. So you might have to do a little bit of extra cleaning work, but you know, if you're only using this for EDC, it's really not a big problem. And something that fuller allows you to do in this knife, I'm not really sure about the customs, but I will show you here. If you throw your finger behind it, give it a nice flick, you can open it pretty easily like that. The action is just that nice. Speaking of the action, we can see the IKBS symbol here. It's got an IKBS ball bearing pivot system. Super, super smooth. A little bit of an annoyance for maintenance because you'll have to catch all those ball bearings when you open up the knife. But super, super, super smooth. Guillotines the finger if you're not careful. I've tightened this pivot up a little bit myself just for the video because it really does fall so freely. I don't want to like cut my finger off while I'm filming this right now. It's an amazing action. There are plenty of videos out there of guys just flicking it and closing it and just going really fast with it. Really cool. Moving back, we've got some pretty beautifully milled and created 6AL4V titanium scales. This has been changed, obviously, from the stock configuration, but it comes with some beautiful anodization or DLC work. They either come in black with silver finish, they come in bronze, which this one was originally, and blue. You can see the blue one on Kevin Cleary's channel. He's got some great videos on this knife. Beautiful, beautiful handles, super ergonomic. They fit in the hand really well. This milling is really, really, really beautifully done. On the stock model, it's even maybe more accentuated because of the way that they've differentially anodized it. The back spacer also has that diamond pattern. Lots of beautiful milling, beautiful tolerances going on here. Everything comes together really nicely. Just trying to get some detail shots here of all this so you can see how well put together this handle is. It's got the Begg style clip with the ceramic ball bearing, which indicates that there are ceramic ball bearings inside of the pivot. That's sort of the characteristic Begg classification going on there. So this knife is beautifully, beautifully built. And you have to appreciate that Riot Knives is doing some great things right now. I'll bring out a couple of their other newer models. I've got a K1 here for a comparison. Also an incredibly smooth knife, beautifully executed with a whole lot of very high quality manufacturing processes. Also this Liang Ma GSD, also made by Riot Knives. Just amazing fit and finish and tolerances. All their pieces are really fitting together really nicely. You know, I saw that I had the Future on here. That one was a little bit rough, but I'm seeing an evolution here where things are getting a little bit nicer. Let me show you also some things. I've got a bunch of green knives since we're doing some size comparisons here. I've got a WE Knives 606. That's sort of a smaller gentleman's carry there. I've got a VDK War Admiral. This one was also anodized by Fanatic Edge, so I love the spectrum of greens that he can achieve there. I really like that. I've got my, let's see, I've got a Jet Beam Jet 2 Pro just for some size comparisons here. I've got another green knife actually. I've got a WE Knives, I think this is a 709. This is the new 709 that just came out. A lot of green knives on your screen. This is a bigger blade. This is a full 4-inch cutting edge on that one. A little bit bigger going on there. How about some of my standbys for size comparisons? I've got a ZT0392, which is a 3.5-inch blade, so it's a bit bigger. The 0392 is not a small knife by any means. I've got a Borka Blades Auto Stitch going on right here too. That's a pretty big knife too. Let's bring out the ZT0055. So that's a 3.5-inch blade as well. But that, oh no, this one is a 3.75-inch blade actually. So it's about the same size. So you're getting the same size profile going on there. Really nice size. I think that it sort of allows you to carry that slightly bigger blade a little bit more easily than other knives. I think it carries really slimly. That there's not a whole lot of wasted space there down at the end, so easy to carry. The handles are super ergonomic, very nice for everyday carry and cutting tasks. The clip works beautifully in and out of the pocket at all times. Now, one of the drawbacks of having this sort of bigger knife with all these premium materials is the weight. Go ahead and bring the scale out here. Right at 6.44 ounces, so a rather heavy knife. Some people really only want to carry less than 5 ounces for most EDC carries, but if you're wearing jeans, it's not really that noticeable. For me, it's a little bit heavy because I wear scrubs a lot of the time, but I love the knife in jeans. It is a perfect size and really well balanced, and just overall just an excellent knife. So what is my final diagnosis on the Todd Begg Steelcraft Series Bodega? Well, my diagnosis is that it's too good, and that may seem a little bit strange, but this knife is perfectly executed. I'm just going to say, if you're on the fence about buying one, get one, because it's that good. It really is very well done, but it's to the point where this is as good as any other Todd Begg knife for, you know, any practical sense. I went to a custom knife shop recently and got to handle 3 separate custom bodegas. Well, really, they're the mid-techs, but they're mid-tech customs, and they cost a couple of $1,000s. But they didn't really have any significant advantage in terms of the overall fit and finish and the action. Of course, the materials were higher grade, and the finish work was a little bit more extensive. But the overall feel, weight, quality, action, and shape were all exactly the same. So it's an interesting thing when a company makes a production knife that is as good mechanically and functionally as their full customs. Now, of course, if you want a full custom bag, you can get one if you have the money and the time and the patience. They're wonderful things. But it's interesting to me, and I want you guys to comment down below what you think about having a production knife that is as good or, arguably better than some of the custom work coming out of a company. So I really love this knife. I think you guys should definitely strongly consider it. If you're on the fence about buying it and you have the means, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. This is an excellent knife. I really want to keep it. I don't have the ability to hold on to it right now, but this knife has sort of started a new project for me. I'm going to be sending my ZT0055 to my buddy Fanatic Edge for some custom work. It's going to come back with a new clip as well from Adam Purvis at A Purvis Blades, so look out for that coming up. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out my video on the Steelcraft Bodega. Click like and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Dr. Frunkey. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunkey saying, Take care.